Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar on exploring the dark web, understanding risks and opportunities. My name is Nafis Alam and I am an information security analyst working in ISOEH Data Security Private Limited. In today's session, we will delve into the hidden parts of the internet, often referred to as the dark web, and explore its implementation for cybersecurity. So, let me present my screen so you can see. I hope everyone can see my screen. So, today's agenda, we will cover introduction to dark web, accessing the dark web, how to access it, dark web marketplaces and activities, cyber threats orientation from the dark web, some legal and ethical consideration, and we'll also look at some case studies of dark web takedowns, some future trends, and in the end, we'll take Q&A session. So, first and foremost thing that you have to understand is the internet consists of three main layers. Okay, three main layers: the surface web, the deep web, and the dark web. The surface web is what we daily use, like google.com, the normal search engine. Okay, like if I go here, so whenever we browse something like this, so this is what we refer to as the surface web. Okay, then we have the deep web, contains data that is not indexed by the search engine, such as private database and academic resources. On the other hand, the dark web, however, is a small, intentionally hidden parts of the deep web, accessible only through a specific softwares like Tor browser. We'll look into it. So, before we start with what is currently going on, let's look at the history of where it all begins. The dark web began gaining attention in the early 2000s with the advent of anonymizing the networks like Tor, which was initially developed by US Navy. For secure communication. So, US Navy called it Tornado. Okay. So they used it to anonymize their networks, like inside their NSA and something. So US Navy used it for secure communication, but over time it has evolved into a hub for both legitimate privacy-focused and activities and also illicit activities. And while the dark web is often associated with illegal activities like political activities, whistleblowers, journalists, oppressive regime, however, it is also famous for its the more versatile marketplace, selling drugs, weapons, and stolen data. So let's stand how this dark web works. Dark web relies on a technology like Tor or the Onion router and I2P invisible internet project to provide anonymity. the Tor internet traffic through a series of volunteered oriented servers around the world, making it extremely difficult to trace. That's why whenever you are in a hidden network, anonymizing network like Tor, this is very hard for any person or any government to track you down. Why? Because you as a user, you are hidden behind a multiple layer of nodes or servers. So anonymity is maintained through multiple layers of encryption. Each relay in Tor network decrypts a layer of encryption to reveal the next relay's IP address. And the remaining encrypted data is sent to the next relay. This process repeats until the final destination is reached. So, like as you can see here on the screen, let's say this is a legitimate user. Normally, if it was a surface web, and if you visit google.com, okay, just directly go through that at google.com, and the Google server can see your what we call your public IP, which was associated to you. Whenever someone do some illegal activity while they are on surface web, government or any police can track you down via your public IP. But when we are on Tor network, the things will go different. How? You as the user and the destination, the server google.com or anything, in between you, there's a lot of servers on in Tor network, what we called nodes. So these nodes come in between you and the server. So whenever you want to visit a particular website, the user first send the data to a particular node. The node take this request, send it to the other node, and then the other node, and then to the final destination. And when the data is reached to the final destination, the destination or the server can only see the public IP address of the last node and not you. So this is the reason why it's very difficult to track down the actual user who initiated the request. And most of the times, these nodes clear the data whenever every 24 hours. There is no limit on how many nodes you will be going to use in between you and the server, but as many as the nodes will be, the more your internet traffic will get slowed down because it has to go through multiple layer of nodes. So how do we going to access this dark web? Now, to understand how this technology works, you have to understand the encryption. What is encryption? Encryption, or what we you can say like lock and unlock. Take a data, lock it down with a key, and whoever the person has the key can unlock this data. This is what we refer to as in technology as encryption. Encryption, lock, decryption is unlock. So everyone uses WhatsApp, for example. In WhatsApp, you can see on the message text box that on the above it says end to end encrypted. What does it mean? It means whenever you send a message to your friend, let's say you have typed hi, WhatsApp will lock this data. Okay. So in between, this logged data will travel. Even WhatsApp cannot be able to see what you are going to text. Okay. And when it's reached your friend's phone, it will get unlocked. And now, to lock and unlock the data, we require a key. This key will lock the data and unlock the data. So, Tor works in the same way, locking the data and unlocking the data on the each node of the network. So, let's say we have this message here, this message. Say send hi. First, this is your computer, this is the server, and we have a lots of nodes here. Your computer logged this data. This log data gets traveled to the next node. This node will log this data again. Again, this will go to the next node and it will log the data again. The number of nodes, the number of locking it will do, the number of encryption layer. Okay. That's why we refer Tor as very secure. And in the end, the actual message gets delivered by unlocking the data one by one. So this technology, what we refer to as the onion protocol. Onion because of the layers. There's a lot of layers in an onion. That's why it says an onion protocol, because the layer of encryptions. Okay. So as you can see, whenever a client sends a data which is encrypted. Okay, so client has three keys: red, green, and blue. Client sends the encryption key and the encrypted data to node 1. Node 1 decrypt it and encrypt it again with this key, send it to node 2, node 2 decrypt it and encrypt it again with the blue key, decrypt it again, and that will send to the server. And if we look into the communication here, every communication is encrypted and every encryption is different because the encryption key is different. Let's say the server wants to track you down. The server look at its logs. Which IP access my server at the given time. When it look at it, it will get the IP address, not yours, but the last or exit node. Whoever make the last communication with the server, it will get the public IP of that particular node. So, for that particular reason, the server only track the nodes. And the nodes, when you go to the nodes, and if you have permission to look at the logs of that particular node, if the node will not destroy the logs, it will mention the IP address of, again, not you, but the last node and the last node. Okay. So we often say that Tor or the onion network is very secure, but there's a limit of how secure it can be. It does not mean that you can never be found. There are case studies I will show you that even famous and hardest of illegal activities can be tracked down by the FBI or government. So, to access the dark web, one needs a tool like Tor browser or a VPN for added security, or you can also download a whole live operating system which will anonymize. But for today's webinar, we will look into the Tor browser. You can install Tor browser either on laptop or your mobile phones. So go to your browser, search Tor. You'll get this torproject.org. Here you can download the Tor browser and install it. I've already installed the Tor browser here. So Tor or any other like Tails operating system leave no traces on the host machine. Remember, while accessing the dark web, it's not illegal. Engaging in illegal activities, there are some consequences. So you have to be very careful what you will be going to access in the dark web. Normal URL first, and the thing that make it different is the normal URL. As you can see, start with a protocol HTTPS, following with the corresponding domain name. But if you look at the Tor browser, and if I show you a URL of the dark web, this is very difficult to read because this is a unique identifier UID that is generated. Okay, and the extension will end on always end on .onion, the onion protocol. On the other hand, in the surface web, we have .org, .com, .in, okay, whatever the website suggests. So, as you can see, this is the dark web. What we see here is what a search engine called AHIMA, where you can search for something. Like searching on dark web is different than surface web because surface web search engine like google.com, Bing or Yahoo index the websites from different servers, and by indexing them they search the names by their following domain names, and in the surface web the domain name is very straightforward like ISOEH.com or torproject.org. But in dark web it's not very straightforward because it's a very randomly generated string. Okay. That's why you will see very limited number of search engines working on dark web that you are going to use. So if you compare it with the surface web, if I go to google.com and search the same query, hacking books, okay. As you can see, we have a lot of results. More I scroll down, the more it will see. There's a lot of results here. And we have all the books here. But if I go back and look at the result of this AHIMA search engine in the dark web, this particular query, hacking books, only returns 2190 matches. Again, look at the links. Everything is ends on .onion. We have one more search engine, Torch. Now, if I go here and I'll show you one thing. If I check Tor, This is a URL to check if you are secure or not. It says you are not using Tor. But if I go back and here check Tor, as you can see, the internet is very slow here. Why? Because the data is traveling through multiple layer of nodes. Now, if I access this same website through Tor, it says the browser is configured to use Tor. Our IP address appears to be this. And if I check where this IP is, it's loading. Again, look at this IP address. Look at this IP address. Okay, France, grandest. So now you can see why it is very difficult to track down the actual user, because if I just come here and click on new identity, my IP address will again change and my whole browser gets refreshed. Okay, so let's look at this some marketplaces. The internet, the dark web, is very famous for its marketplaces. They're selling illegal goods and services, commonly traded items including drugs, stolen data, hacking tools, or even illegal firearms. For example, we have a website here called Rent a Hacker. In the dark web, you can rent a hacker to hack something. And if you look at the prices, it says small jobs. For example, email and Facebook hacking, installing Trojan, and small DOS attack, 250 euros. Okay. These types of service you will not be find in the surface web or the deep web. It's only available on the dark web because again it is illegal. Visiting these websites will not get you harm, but using these services will. So make sure you will check what you are going to do, what you're visiting. It is very dangerous here. One more website, dark web hackers. Remote control of the phone of someone else. 700 US dollars. Again, if I just show you the conversion. We also have Facebook and Twitter hacking, $500. DDoS, protected websites, 900. Hacking web servers, game servers, and other infrastructure, $1,300. So as you can see, even peoples who don't have hacking skills, they can hire a hacker from here. So the scale of this marketplace is substantial, with estimates suggesting billions of dollars in transaction. This marketplace often operates similar to eBay or Amazon with vendors and customers. So some of the most notable marketplaces show you here, like Silk Road. You heard about it. So according to Wiki, Silk Road is an online black market. It sold illegal drugs. It was shut down by FBI in 2013. And we have also one more example, and which is Alpha. Okay. Again, same darknet marketplace. So these type of marketplace, for example, Alpha Bay, sales range between $600,000 to $800,000. Even then, the FBI shut it down. Alpha Bay, which was taken down in 2017 in coordinated international operation. Despite these high profiles takedowns, new marketplaces continue to emerge. So let's look at some more websites. We have here Secure Drop. Again, it's in dark web. Used by what we call or refer to a person, a whistleblower, someone who shares secrets or insider documents of a company to the public. So let's say if I want to expose a particular illegal activity hidden inside a company and I'm working for that company, I will not going to just to the public or media and expose the documents because I will get in danger. For that reasons, what I will do, I will drop these hidden files here, secure drop. So I will be protected and the documents will be published. CIA or Central Intelligence Agency also have their dark web pages. So again, to report, if you want to report something illegal, but you want to stay anonymous, you can report from here. Again, whistleblowers, they use this type of websites to file the complaints. We also have Facebook. We have also Facebook and some other marketplaces here. So, have you heard about the ransomware attacks? These are the virus that encrypts your computer's or phone's data and lock it, again encrypt it down, and they will ask for money to return the encryption decryption key so you can unlock the data. Using the dark web, there's the most famous WannaCry ransomware attack happened. This is the WannaCry attack. It targeted the Windows operating system and encrypts the data, demanding ransom payment in Bitcoin currency. So the dark web is hosted for various cyber activities. This includes the sale of malware, ransomware, hacking services for hire, as you can see, phishing kits, and forums. Forums for planning and coordinating cyber attacks. So group of hackers create forums. Okay, they talk to each other, plan, coordinates about their upcoming attacks, how they're going to attack, what tools they're going to use. Okay, they also have marketplace again, as I showed you, for stolen data such as credit card numbers, personal information, login credentials. So as I showed you here, this ransomware or WannaCry ransomware attack in 2017, which affected hundreds of thousands of computers worldwide was initially sold on the dark web. This virus, or the ransomware virus, WannaCry, was actually sold on the dark web. Similarly, data breaches involving major corporations often sees the stolen data end up on sale on the dark web. For example, let's say a major company have their data breach and their data is stolen by hackers. The hackers put this data, billions of data, on the dark web for sale. That's how your personal data gets distributed all around the world. The impact of these attacks can be devastating. Individuals may suffer financial loss, identity theft, and while organizations can face significant operational distributions, reputational damage, and financial penalties, it is crucial for cybersecurity professionals to monitor and understand these threats. So, let's talk about some legal and ethical concerns. Okay, so accessing the dark web, again, as I said, web itself is not illegal, but engaging in illegal activities there is. Laws vary by country, by many governments have significant regulation against trafficking illegal goods, hacking, and other cybercrime. It's important to stay within the bounds of the law while searching and researching for exploring the dark web. Ethical challenges arise from researchers. Cybersecurity professionals, when monitoring the dark web, issues include maintaining privacy, avoiding the illegal websites, balancing the need for security intelligence with respecting individual rights. So, ethical guidelines and best practices should always be followed. Guidelines for some best practices like obtaining proper authorization for any research activities. Let's say you're researching for a particular website, a data breach, or maybe just exploring the dark web. Respecting privacy and legal boundaries, using data gathered from the dark respon- web responsibly to improve security measure and protect users. So if you gather a lot of data from the dark web, let's say you have explored the dark web and get a website who are selling breach data or illegal data of a company. And there are two things. Either they'll be selling it for bitcoins or they're just distributing it for free. If they are distributing it for free, the website's hidden data or breach data, and somehow if you get you access that particular data, download it and store it in your computer, you will get in trouble for storing the stolen data. Okay, because these companies data have very sensitive details like financial, employee details, phone numbers, address, credit card information, and things like that. So, as I mentioned, the most famous Silk Road. The Silk Road was one of the first and most famous dark web marketplace, known for selling illegal drugs and other illicit goods. It was shut down in 2013, as I mentioned, by the FBI. And its founder, Ross Ulbricht, if I pronounce it correctly, Ross William Ulbricht, again. So, he was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. The takedown was significant and devastating. Law enforcement could penetrate the dark web. Always remember, nothing is 100% secure. Using Tor, it's just hard to track it down, not impossible. As you can see here, the Silk Road, the founder was found guilty and again in the end sentenced to life in prison. Alphabet, as I mentioned in 2017, another dark web marketplace was arise and taken down in the coordinate surface by the international law. Following the shutdown of Alphabet, one more marketplace arose called Hansa Market. Another marketplace was also dismantled. The operation distributed illegal activities significantly, but it also led to a temporary surge in dark web. Traffic users migrated from the other platforms. So, thing is, overall, these takedowns highlight the ongoing cat and mouse game between law enforcement and the dark web operators. They also show the importance of international cooperation and sophisticated cybersecurity investigation technique in combating the dark web crimes. So, again, going back to the dark web and Tor browser, we have a hidden wiki. As you can see, there's a lot of links here. So, if I show you some commercial links, like again, Hacker for Hire, as I showed you here. Marketplace, ACC Marketplace, Premium, PayPal, eBay, and bank accounts. So these are hacked bank accounts sold on the dark webs. USA, CVV known balance, and accounts, Dutch connections, illegal drugs, bitcoins, Bitcoin mining with stolen electricity. Again, someone must have stolen a lot of electricity and put a mining server. There's a Bitcoin and mining server. Like they put a whole lot of racks and servers, and these servers are very costly. Again, you can use them. Mobile store, best unlocked cell phones. Again, stolen phones which they have unlocked by hacking them, and now they are selling it on dark web. Drugstore, cannibals, Tor shop. You can create your own .onion store. Again, not suggestion. Okay, fake passports and IDs. You can make a fake passport for any country, including US and anyone you want to visit. Guns and ammo store. You can buy illegal guns, which will be not licensed. Fake ID, bitcoins, coffee shop, iPhones, passports. There are lots of passport services. Hacker for hire. Okay. Non-commercial link where we have comic box. Interestingly, you can, let's see if it will open or not. We have a store of comic books, and this is not a typical comic book store. Okay, this one is first and foremost free because it's on dark web and stolen. Second, the comic books here is will not generally found in the surface web, like all OGs. Library, we have a library. Internet archive, we have also have an internet archive on the surface web. where people can freely share data, books, videos, anything. And this is the dark web version, the Internet Archive. CIA, I already showed you this. ProPublica, this is a news channel. DEFCON, if you know, this is a very famous and one of the most popular and largest hackers community. Happen once in a year. Shadowy, spyware, VPN services, operating systems, private sharing, VPNs, and there's a lot and lot. Okay, DEFCON 2024, it will go into this happening soon. Comic books, as you can see, search for anything year creators. ProPublica, again, the dark web version of this is the called in a news channel. General publishing. You can see things here that is again not generally will be available on the surface web. So, dark web future for anonymity, of course, but from the dark web, we're also seeing new trends like cryptocurrency, like Monero offer greater anonymity for transactions, okay, based on the same thing, the blockchain technology. Cryptocurrency again, it's not a new thing, but recently it gained a lot of popularity. Bitcoin or decentralized marketplace are also emerging, like Bitcoin, which is a decentralized in transaction or currency. Decentralized marketplace on the dark web is also emerging, which are harder to shut down due to distributed nature. So, from this all dark webs and cryptocurrencies, decentralized stuffs, Web 3.2, what you can expect in future, potential future threat, including sophisticated malwares that can use AI technologies, dark web data, learned from the dark webs, all the illegal activities, hidden things that we don't usually see on the surface web. Learn from it, use it, create a malwares that is possible to detect by an average antivirus software. So uses of this artificial intelligence by cyber criminals and the potential for more targeted attacks against critical infrastructure. So after the rise of ChatGPT in the dark web, there is a called WormGPT sold on the dark web, again used for hacking because as you know in ChatGPT there's a lot of restrictions. So what cyber criminals did, they created their own version of ChatGPT explicitly for hacking and they sold it on the dark web called WormGPT. So stay ahead of these threats. Cybersecurity professionals must continue update their knowledge, invest in advanced threat detection technologies, and engage in proactive threat hunting and dark web monitoring. So, thank you for your attention. Now let's open the floor to questions. Feel free to ask anything related to today's topic or share your thoughts and experience on the comments below. So, now to summarize all of this we have seen on the today's webinar. Dark web is complex and multi-faced part of the internet that represents both risk and opportunities. Understanding how it works, the type of activities that occurs there, and associated illegal ethical consideration is crucial for cybersecurity professionals. I will include some links for further reading and tools that you might find useful in your own research and professional activities. Feel free to reach out to me and comment down for any question you have. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. We'll see you on the next webinar.